Well, good morning, folks. Welcome to another episode of Papa Key's Kitchen. Another thing that my mom used to make that I used to really like was whoopie pies. They were delicious. I don't make them that often because there's quite a lot of stuff to put together. But first, let me tell you what the ingredients you're going to need just for the cake part of it. I got some notes here, so I'll read my notes. You're going to need 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 3/4 of a cup of unsalted butter, and that's going to be at room temperature, 1 cup of sugar, 2/3 cup of cocoa, half a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 large egg at room temperature, a half cup of buttermilk, and a 1/4 cup of coffee. Yep. Now for the filling, I won't go into that. We'll do that at a next stage here. But let's see if we can start putting this together. Well, the first thing we got to do is we got our flour mixture. We'll dump that into a bowl. I got my good old Hershey cooking cocoa. Dump that in there. And we got our baking powder. Now what we want to do is just whisk this stuff all together so it's all mixed in nice and good. Still a bit chilly out there this morning. We're back to normal up here. Had some snowflakes in the air, and temperature this morning was, I don't know, about 25 degrees here in Vermont. Getting more typical. Some of that rainy weather that we had here a few days ago was the crazy weather. I'm beginning to think there's a lot to this warming stuff going on out there. A lot of odd stuff. I don't know how people can even follow the Farmer's Almanac anymore. I don't know how they can even get it right. Guess you want to know what the weather's going to be, you just look out the window. If it's wet out there, you know it's raining. If you see them white flakes, you know it's snowing. If you see that sky, you know it's a nice day. Okay. Too much jabbering here. Get back to what I'm doing. So I got that all done. We'll set that aside. What is my next thing here? Be right back. I just got her. All right. Just want to make sure I got the right order going here. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add my egg. My coffee, and the buttermilk, I'm going to see if I can get that whipped up. Get it all mixed up there as best you can. All right, I'm going to set that aside. Now, I've got this other bowl. I got more eggs. We'll need that for the topping later. Got a frog in my throat, I guess. So I want to put my sugar in here. I'm just going to heat up my butter just a little bit. That should do it. I'm going to dump that right in here with the sugar. We're going to whip that up. I want to get a nice fluffy consistency. Make sure you get that sugar all off there and mixed in. That looks pretty good. Set that over there. Now what I need to do is stop for a minute and set up for my next stage. Alright, so this is the mixing stage that we're going to do. You see I got the mixer out in our 3 ingredients. We're going to start with dry ingredients first. Dusty, just like those old kelp mines over we had in Johnson. Pretty tilky. Add this one in. And sugar and butter mix here. Let me get a thingy over here. Get that in there, the sugar. That's going to be good. All right. See if I can get it all out of there. Guess we got most of it. All right. Turn it on here. Start mixing. Now imagine you'll have to scrape the sides down now and then, just like everything else. Be kind of a sticky mixture. Put it in second gear. Oh yeah, that's mixing up good. kind of have to take my time when I get, seems like in these older years that you got to slow down and think, you know. Used to be I didn't even have to look at notes. But we'll take what we're given. Now we're going into fourth gear. Oh, she's looking like a chocolate cake mix. Going up one more. Alright, now I want to do a scrape down. Oh, that's really nice and fluffy. Yes, sirree. We're going to give her another whip here. I'd lick that off, but it's not the end. If I can lick my finger. The old chef tasting finger. That is delicious. I think I'd sit here and eat the batter by itself. Alright, here we go again. Walk down. Looking good. Bring that up in the air and I'll see if I can get this off without getting too chocolatey. Yum, yum. Of course, if I had any kids around, they could lick my beater. Like I used to lick my mother's beaters. She didn't have any fancy equipment like this one. First one she had was, you cranked it by hand, and it had 2 beaters in it. You crank it the whole time, no electric at all. Then I think Sunbeam, I guess they call it Sunbeam, came out with one that was totally electric. I know my mother just had to have one of those. Yeah. Small things in life, it takes me a lot of people happy. She was happy with nothing. Yeah. Oh well. Now let's see if I can get that off from there. Remember, I have to twist and turn. There. I don't know how well you can see that, but turned out pretty yummy. All right. Well, I go through a lot of dish towels, I'll tell you that. It's because I keep wiping everything with chocolate on it. Whoa. I wash everything in cold water, so it's kind of hard sometimes to get out that chocolate stain, you know, but that hot water costs a lot of money, so I do everything in cold water. I'm thinking about getting some of that colored bleach. I never used it before. I don't know if that would help or not. If you know, let me know. Of course, I'm using cold water, so, and I think it's Arm & Hammer. But sometimes that just doesn't bleach them out good enough, like the old bleach does. But I don't want to put regular bleach in because I got my colored clothes in there and it turns everything different colors. You're like a rainbow child. Now what was I doing? Oh, I know what I was doing. We need a sheet pan. Yep, with parchment paper. If that ain't enough, I can make up a small one. Should be enough. Don't know how many this is going to make. We'll find out. Then I'm going to take my ice cream scoop and see how well this is going to work. Oh yes. Let me turn it down. You don't need to see my mug. Put a drop of Whoopie right there. Perfect. It was almost like a double Whoopie. Don't these look delicious? Mmm. In the summertime, I give the neighborhood kids cookies and treats and stuff like that. If I see them riding their bike, I say, hey, how about a bag of cookies? Of course, all their parents up here know me, so they know they're safe around me. Well, there's a dozen of them. I got probably enough in there to make another 5, 6, which I probably will do. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, I want to check to see what, I've got to preheat my oven on this here. If I can remember how much heat and time. Well, I guess it's about 375 at about 9 minutes. So I'm going to preheat my oven and get that going. And the next stage after this, we'll see if we can do the icing part. So I'll be back. Well, I'm ready to make my frosting. Look a little bit crooked there. I don't know, maybe it's my eyeballs. Who knows? What I got in here is a little bit of salt and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I got 5 egg whites in this. And I got 4 sticks of butter. And the leftover yolks, I think I'll make an omelet for lunch. Put some ham and onions in it. That'll be good. Alright, first thing I want to do is try to incorporate this stuff together. We're going to see how this all works out. Hopefully I can get this all out of there. So I got that done. Now I'm going to add in my egg whites. Got those mixed in. Now I think I have to move it back just a little bit because I need to turn this burner on down here. Let's see. Turn that on there. Oop, gotta remember to turn this oven off. I've already baked the other things. Wanna get this water here boiling a little bit. We're going to stick this pot right on the top of this thing, like so. So. Now to heat up all those ingredients. That way I can whisk them in there. Then we're going to put it onto my beater and whip up some good old frosting. Okay, I'll turn this back on when we get it up to a little boil. Alright, I added 1 2/3 of a cup of sugar in here. You just using that steam to melt all that butter and get it incorporated into it. That shouldn't take too long, and then we'll put it into the mixer and beat it up. Pull off the heat, turn that off. Now I'll put my other glove on and bite it. This is kind of hot, so you have to be careful you don't burn yourself with it. There. Set that aside. Now is my whipping stage. be back after I get them frosted. Well, whoopie pie. Don't those look delicious? Yummy.